Hey YouTube, I'm back with another video. I am here to review Married at First Sight first year with you guys. I am so sorry that I missed you guys last week, but my schedule was kind of busy, and then by the time I got ready to make a video, it was almost time for the show to come back on. So we're just going to do a 2-week synopsis on Married at First Sight. So let's get into it. So last week's episode was called Baby Fever. Basically really focusing on Doug and Jamie. Jamie is really in this I'm ready to have baby mode, which we have seen since the show has first came on. She had a talk with Doug and his parents, and they were talking about how they had trouble having a baby, that Doug's mom basically was 5 years before she had him, and before then she had had a miscarriage. And Jamie's like, oh my god, I'm 28 and I don't want to wait that long to start a family. I know Doug wants to wait, but what if we have problems, blah 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 blah. So eventually they just end up going to see one of the therapists. I believe it was Dr. Pepper. And Dr. Pepper actually agreed with Doug that they need to take time to wait, get to know each other. It's only been 7 months into their marriage. And remember, you guys met when y'all got married. So 7 months of knowing somebody and just deciding you just wanted to full flex into baby or whatever, even because y'all are established and everything seems well. And I mean, you never are prepared for a baby, no matter how much money you have or how much that you do, you never prepare for a baby. But she needs to slow down just a little bit. Jason and Courtney, they are still going through their trials and tribulations. Jason is in the fire academy. She finally broke down and told him about his job, which I think I said that in my last video. Broke down and told her about her job. So she's getting pushed out of the job situation. And that is putting a strain on the marriage. Him be going to fire academy, being that things need to be the way things need to be for him to do that. He doesn't really have a lot of time. They're missing each other. So they basically both had to kind of branch out to other people about what was going on in their life. 1 second, y'all. All right, sorry about that. Basically, they just don't have time for each other's life. Plus the fact that, she's not going to be working. He's going to be a probationary firefighter, or Pro B as he calls it, when he gets out. So, those things are kind of bothering him. She sits down and talks to him and tells him that she wants to start her own makeup line. She doesn't really want another 9-to-5 job. She wants to go into something that she has a passion for, because she feels like she's losing herself. She gave up a lot for this marriage, her burlesque, the makeup. She went and got a job. Now the job is letting her go. So she just kind of wants to pursue her passions. He, inevitably ends up having a wrestling match towards the end of it, because he hasn't really been with that in the wrestling company that him and his friend started. His friend was being a real jerk and was just like, you haven't been here, why haven't you been here? And he was like, dude, I told you that when I got in Fire Academy, I wasn't gonna have the time like that. So dude was going off on them. They finally came to some kind of understanding, but I think the old dude still really didn't understand. So on comes the match. He makes, Courtney had made him this shirt, which is way too big, but he wore it just because his wife made it for him. And, they're in the match and whatever, and things are happening, things are going, and at the end, somebody really rams him, and he feels like his chest is caved in. The worried look, she's like, I told him this wasn't a good idea. You're 2 weeks from graduating, and what are we gonna do if you're not working? Blah 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 blah. So that is where it left off on that episode, which brings us to this episode from this week, which is, New York Bravest. Okay, before we get into the New York Finest, of course, Monet is in this show a lot, which I love Monet. I like her personality. So I'm happy to see her. So she is on another blind date with another guy. They go to archery class. It seems to like they are hitting it off really well. They end up going to dinner. He's into brunch. It's just a really good date. So kudos to Monet. I'm so happy to see her moving on with her life. She also goes on a date with the guy that she went in on a date previously with to the wrestling match where Jason and Courtney are in there. So let's move on to New York's finest. So Jason and Courtney, we're going to start with Jason and Courtney again. Jason and Courtney are, Jason is about to graduate from the Fire Academy. He actually does graduate from the Fire Academy. His friends tell him, they go out to dinner. Courtney asks him about his mom, how he feels that, she would feel. And he's like, she know this is one to do. She was my biggest supporter. I feel sad that she's not here, but I know that she instilled the things in me that I need to be, and that is why I'm here where I am. So, really nice. His friends tell him, now it's, Courtney's been real supportive, but now it's your turn to be the supportive one. She's going to start a makeup line, so you need to be the one to support her. Nothing really spectacular going on with those two in this episode till the end, when he tells her that he is going to have to work on Thanksgiving, because he's new. He's on a probationary period. She's like, I want to go home to see my parents or my family. Your family too, blah, blah, blah. Family is everything to me, which is understandable. But if you have a spouse that is in a job like law enforcement or firefighting, EMT, a doctor, those people holidays mean nothing. Or even my profession, a restaurant. Holidays mean nothing about that, especially if you're the low man on the totem pole. You got to do what you got to do. I think she has been very considerate, and it's kind of just coming to a head, but she was really not considerate in that aspect of it, where she's just like, I want to go see my parents, and he was like, we can't afford that, we're on down to one income. We got things that we need to do here. Well, you just want me to sit around the house and be lonely? Girl, I feel you on that. Go, Monet, Doug, Jamie. I'm sure these people would open their houses with open arms with you. I mean, that's what you do when your husband have to work. You go hang out with your close friends and family. At least that's what I think. But yeah, so they got into an argument. She was like, I'm going to do what I want to do. And he's like, you're going to do what you want to do. It's just kind of crazy. I wish she would be a little bit more understanding with that. I know she didn't think he was going to straight come out of the academy and be like, oh, I can go on vacation and go see my in-laws and be off for Thanksgiving. No, ma'am, that does not work that way. But Courtney will learn and she'll get over it. They always seem to work it out. They have a really meaningful relationship. To me, that they are trying. Now, Monet, let's go back to Monet. Monet goes to Jamie and Doug's housewarming party, and everybody's asking her about Vaughn. Baby, did y'all watch the show? Did y'all see Vaughn? That's a no-go, a no-no. So, just let that girl be. Let her date. Let her do. Just leave her alone about Vaughn. Although in the previews it seems like they're gonna have to interact again, but he needs to go on by his business, cause I don't know, Vaughn. Okay, I'm moving on from that. So Doug and Jamie, they have a housewarming party because they want to show off their house and things of that nature. That's the light thing. Their biggest issue this week is sex. Jamie doesn't feel like she needs to do it every day, or they're not trying to have babies, so why are you so into it? And Doug feels like they need to do it every day. So they're having an impasse. So they speak to the sexologist, and I can never think of her name, but they speak to the sexologist, and she gives them some tips. And that is how that goes. Doug's parents bring over their car for Jamie to drive because she's family and they want her to do, and until they want her to have it until they get another car, and they just want her to be safe and to have a safe commute and not have to do public transportation. Doug's parents are so sweet. What? So, I don't know where I left off at. The dog had to go outside, and Xbox Boy did not feel like letting her go out. So, that's why y'all got that little pause right there. Basically, I think I was at the car. They gave her the car. They want her to be safe. I really like Doug's parents because they are really into, you know, making Jamie part of the family, and she likes that too. So I think next week will be Thanksgiving, and we'll go through all of that. And I will be making a video next week. I hopefully no more 2-week catch-ups. But thank you guys for watching. Tune in. We'll see you next week. Please comment and subscribe and like our video. Thumbs up. See you later. Bye.